Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Catty Crypto here, and let's just jump straight into it. So now I'm not taking sides on this, and yeah, I did put out a tweet, pointing the finger at Terra rebels because ultimately, and I'm not taking sides here, ultimately, they've put themselves in a position as to which, we look to them, and what they do, say, and how they act can affect us all, not only as delegates, but speaking from a validator, okay, someone who's committing their time to securing the blockchain and making the effort, okay, we get affected by things like this. Now, before we get any further into this, let's head over to Jared. Now, Jared's part of TFL, but before we get into what Jared said, let's go back to one of my previous videos. I showed the community a screenshot of what was happening to Terra Station, that it was going to be changed from Terra Station to just Station, in accordance with how the Alliance module is going to work. And, running away from that seems very, very silly, because with what's been shown in the audits and things like that, we know what we know now. So moving forward, right, around 7 days ago, and I'm not naming any people in this, I'm simply just quoting things that have been, said. So around 7 days ago, no, specifically 7 days ago, someone spoke with TFL, and TFL gave a list of what was needed to be done in order to make Terra Station compatible with the new interchain wallets. Now, all of this was pretty much outlined to them 7 days ago. So in itself, from where I'm sitting now, I've spoken to Zaradar, and we both have different viewpoints on this, and I totally get it. But from where I'm sitting as a validator, this is just one huge miscommunication issue. So TFL mentioned on the 30th of November that Legacy Terra Station will still be available. Okay, so that was 7 days ago. Now, there's loads of people who, and I've got so many messages in my DM, I've got so many messages on Telegram of all these different people that are panicking. The influencers are doing what they usually do and just making everything worse. I told you so, it's all crashing. These are just people you don't want involved, and, think twice when you support people like that, because they just turn their backs on you as soon as, the RPM outweighs the responsibility, right? So thanks to all nodes for supporting the community. Terra Station is able to fulfill most functions thanks to their shared endpoints. We're still working on the rest of our cluster to bring all functions back today. Now, I've been doing a few tests. Terra Station's back, okay? It is 100% there. It's working again fine. And the best way to look at Rebel Station and Terra Station is they're the same. You do not need to undelegate your coins to move them to Rebel Station. It's just somewhere. It's like getting a new phone and taking your SIM card with all of your numbers and everything in it, and then just putting it in the new phone, and then all of your numbers showing up, right? It's the same endpoint. They literally just copied and pasted it. It's as simple as that. So this in itself has not been helped by the way that everything's gone, the route that it has. It's been amplified by the dropping of Rebel Station during this time, which just didn't help. People believed that Terra Station's not safe, that it's going to be shut down, that TFL would discontinue and everything, and that's just not the case. So let's head over to Stakebin. Let's look at the top validated delegation losses. We have been in an uptrend since we got involved with the validating scene. Same for most people that joined around then. As soon as the Rebel Station got dropped, the miscommunication happened, this whole issue with too many chiefs and not enough Indians, right? And everybody fighting for control over whatever. Now it's led to a mass exodus of people just, either thinking Terra Station's over, it's finished, it's done. Thinking they need to undelegate to move coins to Rebel Station when it doesn't work like that. Regardless of how it's been explained now, the initial explaining of it was poor. It was poor at its best to actually help the community understand what Rebel Station is. And it seems like all of this could have been done so much differently to not end up where we are now. So the misconception that TFL are going to stop supporting Lunar Classic is absolute doo-doo. And 7 days ago, okay, it could be longer than that, because that's just from what I've seen, from what I was told, okay, around that time. that TFL mentioned that Legacy Terra Station will still be available. You know, what positive effect do you have from shutting down Terra Station like that and then just saying to people, you know, yeah, there's Rebel Station? You know, it's not fair on validators for starters, and it's especially not fair on all of the smaller validators that really are struggling to get voting power. And there's a lot of people who sit and they say, you know, we're very, very decentralized, but if you go to our validators list and look, this is not decentralized. It's actually very centralized towards the top people. You know, if, for instance, the top 3 validators wanted to overwhelm, in fact, the top 4, they could just overrule quite a lot of stuff because of the way that the voting power is balanced out. So this communication issue it's got to stop. And what makes it worse is, and you know, I don't need to name them for you folks to know who's doing these kind of things, but straight away, straight on it, you know, it's collapsing. I told you it was collapsing. It's all over. Yet they're validating on our blockchain. So at what point do we draw the line in the sand? And there needs to be some kind of acknowledgement that, you know, you're either responsible for this blockchain in the same way that TFL are held kind of responsible for Luna, or you're not. And you know, that line needs to get drawn in the sand for us to move forward. There's all these kind of different things going on about funding and stuff like that. I have said from the very beginning that funding is a definite needed. We needed it from the beginning, and they needed funding from the beginning, period. Rebel Station was needed, but at the correct time. You know, you don't... It seems to me there's just so many different people that are just either want control or, you know, want to change this, and no one actually wants to build anything. When recently we've created our auto compounding module so we don't have to use Ledger or Kepler or Eris protocol. We created it very simply, but it's very complicated down to its core, but it's very simple to use, and it works simply, and it's free for validators to use if they wish to use it, and it keeps it all in one place, making it easier for people. For instance, say, you know, the average person should be spreading their delegations out across different nodes, and you're going to want to auto compound all those rewards. Well, not all validators use the same auto compounding thing. We can kind of get that done, finished and over, because we're currently accommodating Lunatics token, and they're more or less using our staking module. So when you go on to our auto compounding thing, you'll see if you have coins with us delegated with HCC and with Lunatics token, you will be able to auto compound, you know, both those delegations from the same place. You know, a lot of people sit there and they say, you know, you get so emotional over these things, but you know, a lot of people, they've just bought a bag and sat on it. And, you know, a lot of the influencers that influence, they've just jumped coin to coin to coin to coin to coin, and, you know, spreading the same nonsense they spread during, you know, the last meme coin that they all spoke about. The difference is I'm emotionally invested in this, and I only speak about Luna Classic, and I 100% support it, and I support the community's movement, and I've always tried to do my best. But, you know, no one can ever agree on anything, and I get that, but ultimately, you know, this has all come down to miscommunication, and therefore causing, you know, the staking ratio was nearly up to 13%, and we're nearly down to 12.91% again. So for what we gained, everybody's already lost it, all because of, you know, a simple miscommunication thing where people are saying, you know, well, Rebel Station, you know, that's really safe. And, well, hang on a minute. You know, it's just a copy and paste job. If you go, like, Lunc hits the nail on the head so well with this. And, you know, this is kind of when you can't really complain with the guy for doing stuff like this. Lunc swap, where is it? There. You know, I said it in a video, Happy Catty Station, it's so easy for us to copy and paste something and then just reproduce it in a new environment. It's really not that hard to do. Look, all of these, you are unable to view this tweet because this account limits who can view their tweets. That is your friends Classy and Crypto King, because they know that I will just call them out. But yeah, it's just, you know, Terra Station is not going anywhere. Okay, it doesn't matter where, you know, you should get the point by now. And, you know, I hope this has helped you folks understand a little bit better. And, you know, it's not just that, like, look at all of the different people that have pitched in today to help, right? So it just goes to show there's loads of people out there that are willing to support, and it's not just down to one group of people ultimately. And that's the beauty of what is supposed to be decentralized. You know, we're really good up until a certain extent where we're lacking on so many different parts. And like I said, there's so many different people that want to just, they want control, or, you know, what it is, it's just all a control. Like, I can do a better job than them, or I can do a better job than them. And instead of just allowing the people to make the mistakes, learn from the mistakes and move forward. And then we're just like, we're still like going around in circles, right? So we had a divide created by the multi-signature wallet. And then we had another divide created by the Rebel Station wallet. And it's just like, where does this stop? Where does this stop? And like I said, I'm not siding with anyone. In fact, I'm standing behind our validator in the HCC factory to say that this is affecting, you know, us as a community, but it's also affecting the validators, and the validators are the ones that are validating the blockchain. And it's not fair for us to suffer because of people who are high above us want to keep specific information hidden from us and all of these different things. And, you know, this person has a direct line to that person, but this person doesn't. And, you know, we're not going to speak to you because someone doesn't like you and stuff like that. It's all got construed. And we're now at this point where, you know, you've got so much misinformation out there. No one even knew what was going on today. No, you know, no one knew nothing. And, you know, people like myself, I dedicated so much of my time to this, to then we get to this point where people would rather go and support someone who would just provide them clickbait. They'll just provide them with crappy content, you know, just absolutely making a mountain out of a molehill and only doing stuff when it benefits them. So if you think about it and you ask yourself, how many projects have we worked with here at HCC? And then how many other people have worked with those projects then after us? And then ask yourself a question. Why have they not worked with Exodus and people like that? Because of the simple fact that people like that can't afford to pay out 20 grand a month, you know, for advertisement packs from influencers. But, you know, this is the environment we're in. I hope you guys, you know, I can't financially advise you, but what I can tell you is I'm not moving any coins anywhere, because for the simple fact, it's just an end point. Like, it's like literally like a different theme. It doesn't make any sense. So what I'm hoping and what should be happening is Terra Station should be updated to Station, as to which there's going to be a few complications, yes, for sure. But if we are to be integrated into the interchain wallet system, this is what we need to do. And we need to do it for the simple fact that IBCs make everything so much more crazier and better and more ideas, and that interoperability is what we need. Why are we trying to run away from it? I totally get the need for Rebel Station, and people can go back in my videos and hear me saying that time and time again, but when the time is right. It's like getting your bike out in a shop to start riding. You know, there's a time and a place, dude. Like, what are you doing? Why would you drop this now in a time when they knew that there was going to be an update? Like I stated to you folks, Terra Station's all going through a huge update at the moment with the Alliance module and the Feather protocol. So this was, well, you know, a lot of people who didn't panic, and there's going to be a lot of people that didn't panic, have obviously seen the screenshots I put in that video and said, oh, you know, this is normal. Things go down when they're upgrading stuff and doing stuff to blockchains. Binance today stopped withdrawals of Terra Classic because it was going through a blockchain upgrade. And, you know, it's a miscommunication from both sides. And, you know, people can sit there and point the fingers at all types of different people, but at the end of the day, HCC is, we're just a validator. We just provide information that is passed and relayed to us. And when the time arises and when the need arises, we then tell the community how it really is, instead of buttering you up and trying to be this yes man and just kind of being the bad guy and saying, you know, this is happening, it shouldn't be happening, and this is what I think about it. But like I said, I'm not moving my coins because I don't need to move my coins. It's as simple as that. Folks, let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. Stay safe, stay sane, don't trade on emotion, trade on facts where you can. Beware of scammers, doppelgangers, anybody pretending to be me, and I'll catch you in the next one.